And Jaren, I kind of wanted to go back to something that you brought up, if that's okay. It was, you were talking about your early morning schedule in terms of getting work done. And then you switched your schedule a bit, and then you realized that wasn't working. So what were some of those changes? And then when you realized it wasn't working, how did you adapt?
So what I changed was is I had worked a schedule between typically like 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Originally. When I saw that I was no longer able to wake up consistently and be productive at those hours, I kind of moved back towards like an 8 to 5 p.m. Um, schedule. Now, I had established a precedence of communicating with my friends around that like 1 to 3 p.m. Range. And so when that time where I needed to have peak level of productivity, that's when people were communicating with me. And so it was definitely difficult to stay on task. And what would happen is that there's a significant amount of work. I work in the insurance industry that needs to get done that's time sensitive. So my days would extend to like 6 and 7 o'clock in order to continue to meet those social needs. What I ended up doing is continue to have my day start at 8. But what I would do is I would take like a 3 hour break between like the 12 to 3 p.m. Range and set that time aside for self care and for communication and socialization time. And then afterwards, I would go back to continue that work. And while it was letting my time period like go longer in the day where I was working till like 7, 8 p.m., I was also having that time for self care and being able to feel fulfilled and then continue on my work when I had not established a precedent of this is when I'm going to be communicating with people.
Thank you for that. And that's huge though, because like I even just thought about some of those things that you were just saying as far as like you made sure you blocked out a significant amount of time for self-care. And I think that's where, not just amidst this pandemic, but even just daily life, right? Once we finally even get through this as a society, that's still something that should take precedent over anything because like you were saying, as long as you're engaging in that self-care as an individual, all the other facets of your life are going to lift just because you'll have more to give, right? It's that whole philosophical idea of filling your bucket, right? If you're trying to pour, and other people have buckets, and if you're trying to pour from an empty bucket, there's nothing that you individually can give because you've already given everything that you can in other areas of your life. And that's actually something that I feel like I'm getting better at personally. And, it definitely seems like you have a pretty good hold on it. But I do envy that a little bit in the sense that I know I need to kind of craft my schedule a little differently each day. So I really appreciate you sharing that because I know that'll definitely help me and hopefully the other people that listen to this conversation. Uh,
Well, just to be honest with you, Jimmy, so that you're aware of this, this is not something that happened overnight. This has been years of work in order to get to that point. So I know that you mentioned that you're looking to implement that into your own life. Like it's something that's going to come with time. You'll learn your balance as you get forward. So again, like there's no the negative emotion of like having the jealousy or the envy, like that comes with time, especially if you have a focus on. This is something I focused on for about 7 to 10 years of really realizing the need for self care.